Brand new drive-up terminals in a town of 16,000 people. What would be the need for that? I'll tell you the need.
Capitalism and undermining labor. They just want to serve more customers. That's all it is.
The torturous mask mandates in schools, strapping your kids up with a medical device and oxygen.
A medical device.
Inhibiting bacteria-ridden Sharia face muzzle. They're going to bring back.
Going on Twitter today, I notice a prevalence of people really distraught over mask mandates again. I don't know if I've somehow fallen into a hot tub time machine back to 2020, but apparently there are things going on with over on Twitter. People are very upset. Apparently, do not comply. Hashtag do not comply was trending. Politicians need COVID return because they need mail-in ballots to end the American Republic in 2024. Bears up. Yeah. This is what I got on. And when I clicked on the trend, I was like, what is bring mask mandates back onto flights months after president insisted pandemic was over? Well, let's be really clear here. He was always lying. COVID never left. There were not cases that just stopped. Oh no, is this? Oh no, it's Warren Buffett. Okay. Would it? Yeah, you know, yep. Oh yeah, gun confiscation. The thing that totally exists in America. Right, got it. Mm-hmm. Kid, you're outside. You can take the Jesus. Never do this. Never comply. Oh, yeah, it's a lot of people just losing their fucking bananas on Twitter over this. I'm not 100% sure why. Like, you found a video of a kid outside wearing a mask. Also, it's not even over their nose. What is this?
So when will new booster shots
what's going on?
Ann Thompson asked the CDC director.
This summer, most Americans left COVID in the past, gathering together once again mask-free. But tonight, signs of a COVID resurgence. Across the country, COVID hospitalizations jumped more than 14% in the most recent week, but far lower than pandemic levels. NBC News medical contributor Dr. Kavita Patel.
What's behind this uptick in COVID that we're seeing?
The main driver of this is a variant that's relatively newer to the scene, EG5. It's easier to give and get, so that makes it kind of easier to pass along.
It's been almost a year since the last COVID booster came out. CDC Director Dr. Mandy Cohen.
The new COVID booster is expected to be approved by the FDA, and then we will make recommendations from the CDC probably by the second or third week of September.
Will it protect?
So, okay, so let's be clear. So let me be clear here. So I'm understanding the story and why I need to not comply here. It's because there's a new variant. The thing that we always said would be a, what's the word? Like a common occurrence? Something that was always going to happen. Every single year, there are new variants of any of these, like the flu gets a new variant every single year. COVID-19 obviously is getting its, but what's the, I guess I'm a bit just confused as to what's scary about this. It's a new variant. You should get the booster the same way you get the flu vaccine every year.
Protect against this new strain?
Yes. The booster is tailored to what we are seeing circulating now.
Critics say the federal government is behind once again. People...
So, critics say, yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Those critics actually are kind of right. But I would say you have a disturbing percent of the population that's kind of is on the opposite spectrum of that one.
There was going to be a COVID resurgence. So why don't we have a booster today? Why do we have to wait until next month?
The way we go about doing just like we do with our flu shots, right? We make sure that we're looking at the ways in which the virus changed. They look at and evaluate that. The FDA is doing its work. We likely will see this as an annual COVID shot, just like the flu shot.
just in time for
Crazy.
fall when we'll also face RSV.
Can you take the flu shot, the COVID booster, and the RSV vaccine all at once?
So for flu and COVID, yes. RSV, again, is only available for older adults. That's one where I'd say talk to your doctor about what's right for you.
So this is the terror that people do not comply. Like, this was this was why this caught my eye, because I just noticed, like, oh no, like, how could they? How could they, guys? God forbid some people who are living through probably the worst, like, doomsday scenario their career has trained them for. They try to get by filming a stupid video on TikTok. Let's all keep that in mind. People got really up in arms about these people doing this on their breaks. This is the only, the length of time that these TikToks lasted was the length of time of their reprieve from putting people, fucking packing freezer trucks full of, full of dead bodies because there wasn't enough space to house them, in the actual hospital. Good God. Yeah, I just... the path to fascism. We're on step 2. I love install the app. That one's good. Oh my God. That's fucking hilarious. Ah, yes, Joseph, quoting Joseph Goebbels. Yeah. Got it. Let's ignore, let's ignore the person who actually has a plausible, like, big lie moment in their history. Let's see. Yeah, do not comply with what we've used masks and vaccines throughout history. Nobody's forcing you to do anything. They're encouraging you to follow science. Stop acting like you're oppressed. Oh man, that's fucking funny. What the hell is this? What is this? Stu Peters reporting drive-up terminals at Target.
7, but 24 rollers, brand new construction at Target. What is
Cool.
it for?
Uh-huh.
Not 1, not 3, not 5, not even
What the fuck even up? Wait, it's a drive-up? Yeah, isn't that like a delivery thing?
7, but 24
Uh-huh. Drive-up what?
brand new drive-up terminals in a town of 16,000 people. What would be the need for that? I'll tell you the need
Capitalism and undermining labor. That's the actual reason.
for that, because they're bringing it back. They're going to bring back draconian lockdowns. They're going to bring back the
Wait. Target has decided to spend some extra money so that they can do more, so that they can service more people by forcing labor to, like, stay outside in the hot ass heat or in the freezing cold, to give you your, like, what is it, curbside pickup. And this guy's like, yep, they're bringing back draconian lockdowns. They're gonna be giving you the jab with your Target purchases now. Like, no, dude, they just want to serve more customers. That's all it is.
the torturous mask mandates in
Oh,
schools,
man.
strapping your kids up with a medical device and oxygen
Medical device.
inhibiting bacteria-ridden Sharia
What?
face muzzle. They're going to bring back
No, this dude's brain. Oh no. Is this okay? So I have another article that I already pulled, but oh man, this is oh man, this is like this is such a great illustration of the mental illness that is conservatism and conservatism's effects on our populace. Like,
inhibiting bacteria-ridden Sharia face muzzle. The oxygen with a medical device and oxygen.
a medical device. He's talking about a mask. Keep in mind, he's taught. Where is it? Wait, no, I know we. Yeah, I know we have them in here. He's literally talking about this. He's like, oh, this medical device. It's It's a mask. It's not a medical device. It's just, it's a sanitization one at best. Oh man. Also, you know he had to memorize this entire thing. Let's give him a chance here.
Oxygen inhibiting bacteria-ridden Sharia face muzzle.
What was it? Oxygen inhibiting, bacteria emitting. Like, how many times did you have to practice this, Mike? You know he practiced this. You know he did the flip. He did it. He went Muslim. Oh, damn it! Oh, God, restart. All right. Why are they doing this? Because like you know that he had to practice this shit. Oh man, dude, the mental illness is strong with this one.
Mandates. They're gonna close down churches. They're gonna
injection. Can I ask somebody? Were you mandated to get a injection? Can everybody raise their hand as to who was mandated by law? By the way, that you get the COVID vaccine. No, nobody, huh? Right. Yes, because because there's nobody here because I'm a small YouTuber and small Twitch streamer, so you should totally hit the follow button and subscribe button. But also anybody who'd be here would probably talk about, oh, well, my job wouldn't let me keep my job unless I got a vaccine. Yeah, that's not what I asked you. I didn't ask you what your private corporation said to do.
close down small businesses while these people stay open, and the pharmacies expanded too. Why do you think that is? Rollers.
Capitalism. That's why. No, really. That's the only reason why. The reason why Target and a lot of big retailers got to stay open is mainly because they could service a lot of people with because they're bigger buildings, you have a lot less people huddled together. Like if you have a small business, right? If you have a small store, you can't have a bunch of people congregate in your small store. So like the alternative was, all right, we'll keep Target open and like Walmart open because those are big warehouse stores, big box stores. And, because they're open, people are more spread out and they have the resources to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Service a lot of customers while still keeping a safe distance from people. Like it's, and again, also at the end of the day, these kinds of retail corporations pay for the campaigns and make contributions to political organizations and political PACs. That's why. Do you think mom and pop, the dog supply, like pet supply store, do you think they donate money to the Democratic Party to the point in which even their House representative would take their call? No. That's not how that works. The funny thing about these sorts of people is they always seem to be able to identify problems with capitalism, but somehow are unable to like make the connection. It's like, nope, that has nothing to do with the system we live under. If the masks and vaccines didn't work, why the fuck are they bringing it back? What did you think was gonna happen? Masks and vaccines don't eliminate. We still, oh my goodness. Let's see. Do not comply. Where did the flu go in 2020 and 2020? I don't know. Maybe it went away because people weren't hanging around each other because everyone had fucking COVID. Like, what's funny is it's like, oh, flu cases dropped off in the year in which everybody went into lockdown and people were around each other. Oh, no shit. Like, yeah. Just announced COVID is a hoax. It's all a psyop. Jesus Christ. They will keep setting fires until you submit to their climate change agenda. What? Okay. Can someone explain this? Can somebody really explain this for me? Because I don't understand this. Who is at the core? Who stands to make money? What's the benefit? I am a proponent of climate change, right? I believe climate change is real because every scientific metric tells us it is. And I also believe that we should be curbing greenhouse gas and fossil fuel emissions to lessen the impact of climate change on our species and pretty much the world writ large. What do I gain from that? Like, why would I want forests to burn? I want forests to be plentiful. I don't like when people cut down forests. Why would I burn down? Well, it just, None of it makes it. Like, the funny thing is, it's always like, oh, how does any of this connect? How does any of it make any sense? Oh, it doesn't. It's just really random conspiratorial stuff. They keep allowing looting of shops until you submit to electronic IDs and facial surveillance. Does this dumbass know that we already have facial surveillance? That's already a thing. That's already a thing. They don't need electronic IDs. They already have facial recognition software in every, like, we already know this. Snowden already revealed this to all of us. They'll keep creating pandemics until you submit to medical slavery. Why? No explanation, because this is all of this is fucking brainworms. That's all this is. Complete and utter brainworms. What is this? It is 2020. Elder Australian store owners are beaten and arrested for telling customers not to wear masks. Am I about to see somebody get beat?
Shoved in the police truck, then... Mark! Oh! He's arrested too.
Fucking eat shit. How about that? What is this? Is this an actual picture? This looks photoshopped as hell. Biden's administration urged all Americans to get coronavirus booster shot now. All right, so let's go actually take a look at the what's it called? Biden administration to urge Americans to get COVID-19 boosters. Whoa, amazing. The Biden administration plans to urge all Americans to get a booster shot for the coronavirus this autumn to counter a new wave of infections, a White House official said on Sunday. The official said that while the centers of, the CDC are reporting an increase in infections, the hospital admissions from the virus overall levels remain low. On Thursday, Moderna said initial data showed its updated COVID-19 vaccine is effective against the Eris and Fornax subvariants in humans. Moderna and the other COVID-19 vaccine makers, Novavax, Pfizer, and German partner BioNTech, whatever, had created versions of their shots aimed at the XBB 1.1.5 subvariant. Pending approval from health regulators in the United States and Europe, the companies expect the updated shots to be available in the coming weeks for the autumn vaccination season. We will be encouraging, quote, we will be encouraging Americans to get those boosters in addition to the flu shots and RSV shots. So that's it. All of that hysteria. Like, this isn't a long article, guys. This is it. This is this is all that is. And this is what people are losing their fucking minds over. This there's hardly anything here. They've announced that they're going to tell people, hey, it'd be a good idea to get your flu shots. Get your shots, people. And like, this is what activates a bunch of people. But like, we kind of know this a little bit. Because apparently a third of Americans, or at least a third of adults, believe vaccine caused thousands of sudden deaths. So, belief and misinformation about key health issues persists among a good chunk of adults, with false claims about COVID-19, vaccines, and reproductive health garnering a substantial amount of support. A poll released Tuesday by KFF has found. When did this get posted, by the way? 22nd? Oh, that's cool. Earlier today. That's what I thought. Okay, cool. Whether or not they believe the claims, nearly all participants in the survey were aware of the misinformation, with 96% saying they had heard at least one of the 10 claims presented to them. The most widespread misinformation claims had to do with the COVID-19 and vaccines. The new polling data found that a third of adults believed the COVID-19 vaccines, quote, caused thousands of sudden deaths in otherwise healthy people. Hello again, Nova. How are you today? With 10% believing that claim to be definitely true, 23% saying it was probably true, another 34% saying it was probably false, and 31% said the claim was definitely false. Oh, I can't complain. It's another week. Ooh, what's this? Which of these Republican presidential candidates do you personally support right now? None. Following. Use cookies to collect. You see? Yeah, they want to collect my data. So let's see. Definitely true. 10%. Jesus. What is that? 33%? Yeah, so a third. Yeah, third. Yeah. Yeah, it's about a third. Nearly a third of people also said they believe the parasitic deworming medication ivermectin, are we really still on this? Wasn't a quote effective treatment for COVID-19. Among the naysayers, 44% said the claim was probably false, and 22% said it was definitely false. Oh, Jesus. Cookie data baiting every time. Health experts and clinicians have repeatedly stressed that there is no evidence that ivermectin has any efficacy in treating or preventing COVID-19 infections, and the Food and Drug Administration has never authorized a drug for use in treating the coronavirus. You know, aren't like I distinctly remember, wasn't there like a whole debate? Oh no, stop that. Wasn't there a whole debate about like the FDA hasn't approved the COVID vaccines, or it wasn't approved in a proper way? And then if you respond, oh yeah, that might be true, but they also didn't do that for ivermectin. But the people who are proponents of ivermectin are like, well, that's because they're not being truthful. And it's like, okay, which one is it? Is like, do you trust the FDA or do you not trust the FDA? Like, in the same poll, roughly a quarter of people said they believed vaccinations against measles, mumps, and rubella cause autism in children, that COVID-19 vaccines cause infertility. Okay, so this is the what's the anti-vax? I'm just gonna do Facebook. Like, this is the classic. If you've seen this, you've been on the internet for a long time. Where the fuck is it? Is it up there? Here, thank you. Almost immediately. Lovely. Oh my god, that's a shit picture. But you see yeah. This is how many vaccines you give your kids. Da 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 da. Can I find the non-shitty picture version of this? Oh, here we go. No, seriously. Okay, thank you. Jesus. Yeah, like this is a lot of people's brain on when it comes to medicine. Like, I don't trust the FDA, but it's more with them seemingly within. Oh yeah, absolutely. The data, the data that the FDA provides us with, and not the regulations, but the oversight could absolutely be stronger. But there's nothing to ever support that the data is incorrect. It's always like, oh well, they're working hand in hand with these pharmaceutical companies. That's why they're pushing the vaccines. Like, yeah, they've been doing that for a couple decades now. That's how our system works. What they're complaining about is the system that we have for healthcare in this country and how tied in it is with our regulatory bodies. But like, that's not like, if that was an actual critique, if that was an actual concern of those people, they would have been making this argument decades ago, the same way most leftists has been making it for basically all of my life. Like, it's disingenuous from them. But yeah, this is most Americans that I experience, where they're like, oh my god, can you believe, like, look how scary this is. And it's unfortunate, but roughly a quarter of people said they believe the vaccines cause infertility. Oh my god, autism in children and the COVID-19 vaccines cause infertility. No evidence has so far been found to indicate that immunization against the coronavirus affects male or female fertility. Oh, raise your hands if you experienced some of that, because we did. A certain family member of not me definitely did warn us about infertility. Was a thing. What's funny too is, like, I'm pretty sure you could look up like the birth rates, or you could, like, we could go right now and look how many people were born within that like 9-month period of the vaccine rolling out, or at least, well, 9 months after, obviously, and you wouldn't see any kind of like stark jump, or at least I'd have to be convinced that it's there. I haven't looked it up. I haven't done it, but like, I feel like if you really wanted to make this claim, I would have heard about that specific data point. The claims that vaccines cause autism has long been refuted. Several studies, including one in Sweden published in 2020, that followed children exposed to flu vaccinations for several years, have found no link between the vaccinations and autism. The British physician Andrew Wakefield, who originated the claim, has since been barred from practicing medicine in the UK, and the 1998 study that he conducted that linked autism to vaccination has been deemed fraudulent. regarding reproductive health, about a third of the survey participants said they believe sex education would lead to teens being more sexually active, and also that birth control, the pill, or IUDs make it harder for women to get pregnant after they stop using those methods. Even larger shares of the participants believed in misinformation having to do with gun violence, with 60% saying they believed, quote, armed school police guards have been proven to prevent school shootings. It hasn't. A 2021 analysis of 133 school shootings from 1980 to 2019 found that armed school police officers were present in nearly a quarter of school shootings included in the study were not associated with a significant reduction in gun injuries. There were 42% another 42% said they believe people who have firearms in their homes are less likely to be killed by a gun than people without guns in the homes. In fact, the opposite has been observed with a 2022 analysis of California adults from 2004 to 16, finding that overall homicide rates were more than 2 times higher among people who lived with gun owners than those who didn't. Whew, that's a lot of information. I think we understand this. You educate your kids about sex. There's not going to be, there's not going to be some increase in the sexual activity. It's just going to be an increase in safe sexual activity. Birth controls and everything else doesn't be shown. There's never been evidence in that. The armed police one I find is funny because people always say, "Oh, we need to harden schools. If we make schools a harder place to whatever." Like, what people don't understand is if you're like a school resource officer or even a school security officer, you're not really like, you're around a bunch of kids and usually just kind of hanging out a lot of the times. What's going to inevitably happen is there's going to be like a kid who come traipsing in with their firearm, and like just all they have to do is catch you off guard, and that's it. It's over. And then they can take your weapon and kill more people with it. Like, there's just, they're like, ask any Call of Duty player. The presence of other people with guns around is not a deterrent. It's just a challenge to overcome. There were very few anti-vaccine protests in Ireland. They were as rare as seeing a dobo bird. I don't even know what kind of a dobo. What the hell is a dobo bird? Now I'm curious. What is a dobo bird? Ooh, no. That's not. No, stop. Is that a dobo bird? What is this? Oh, dodo. Is this? Yeah, one of these. Yeah, the things from what's it called? Things from Animal Crossing. Yeah, where's Wait, what? Norwegian announcement. Oh, no, not that. Animal Crossing. I was like, wait, is this a real thing? Where is it? Yeah. The boy. Yeah, the boy. You know, he's not extinct in my heart. The boy. Anyway, let's finish this up. Well, these results indicate a sizable minority of adults believe in. Also, okay, can we talk about this? 1/3 of Americans. You know who else is 1/3 of Americans? Fucking Republicans and Trump supporters. I don't think that's a far stretch to say we might see a meaningful overlap between those two groups. While these results indicate a sizable minority of adults believe in disproven claims about health, KFF noted that the rate of people who believe them to be definitely true was small overall, and the majority of people fell in what the organization referred to as malleable middle, merely being unsure about most of the claims presented to them. KFF found that certain groups were more susceptible to misinformation than others, including those with lower levels of educational attainment, those who identify as Republican, as well as Black and Hispanic adults. Also people who live in lower educational attainment regions. The KFF Health Misinformation Tracking Poll pilot that was conducted from May 23rd to June 12th. Pollsters included 2007 adults in a survey, and the results have a margin of error, plus or minus 3 percentage points. Okay, interesting. But, so, you know, I don't really have, it's just, I don't really know what to say in moments like this, because we have kind of the answers, right? We have enough science, I think, to back up a lot of our decisions and influencing enough of the decision makers To the point that like I think a lot of these people, especially, and I'm going to speak especially to Republicans because that's just who we see a lot of this with. There seems to be this innate ability with that voter base to disconnect from reality. I would chalk a lot of that up to Fox News, to right-wing talk radio in the 90s, to Alex Jones in the 2000s and 2010s, to Donald Trump in 2016, to, let's be honest, the absolute malaise that is late-stage capitalism. There are a lot of factors that I think bear down on the Republican mind that it just turned them into these just ludicrous, insane, disconnected, untrusting, what's the word? Like paranoid kind of people. And it's sad to see. It's unfortunate. I don't like to see people who are like this, but I'm running out of, I think, faith that there's something that you could say to them to snap them out of this. So frequently do I talk with people who might be able to agree with me on a few premises and might, agree with me on, I think our healthcare system is super broken here in the United States. The ability for people to find gainful employment and also the ability for people to find affordable housing or just housing in general has gotten really bad over the last, 30 to 40 years. Like, I can find people who will be able to identify and come to some kind of agreement on that. But like, the minute we start agreeing, it feels like, sometimes it feels like, I don't know if you guys have ever felt this before. It feels like they're looking for things to disagree with you on. There's an exchange with a chatter up on the YouTube channel. There's I have a video on there where it's a bit of a longer video, but it's really just an exchange between me and frequent chatter Sensible Center. And the thing that frustrated me in that conversation a lot of the times was I can say a lot of stuff and explain how I see systems working and how, this explanation makes sense to me. And I can come to an explanation of almost everything. And we both can come to the agreement of like, oh, this thing that is happening is bad. But like, there's always this like, but what about but you support pronouns? And I just and I find myself just like wanting to fucking like almost falling out of my chair because they just want to disagree all the time. I don't know what it is. There's just this drive or whatever. I don't know if it's just being a contrarian. I don't know if it's just this conservative need to always try to be right in some kind of way. Like, we could agree on 10 things, but they must like disagree on the 11th and make that a strong challenge. Like, I don't get it. And I feel like that's what we see. Part of me thinks that might just be how that party has programmed its voters, that they always need to be oppositional, even for something that will improve their lives. I don't know. It's just, I'm rambling a bit. It's just frustrating. The thing that they tell, like at the end of all YouTube videos where they tell you to like click on one of these like things to watch more videos. Yeah, I've been meaning to film one of those. So that's what I was doing. I was just setting it up to film one.